here. This is Road to Becoming UFC Champion 521, episode 32. It's been a minute since I made a video. It's been like, I don't know, like 2 weeks, something like that. But a bunch has happened these past 2 weeks. A lot of stuff actually. Um, I've gotten new training stuff. I had a minor injury, and some new plans are happening. So let's start off with the injury first. So I had this minor back injury, like it was like a pulled muscle in my back, like right here, and it happened about. Oh, and this is from falling. I was taking out my chicken and I fell, and my dad witnessed me falling like a goddamn tree. So yeah, I was a little clumsy, but I fell. But yeah, anyways, back to the backstory. I was like doing some light training. I forgot what I was doing. It may have been bag work. It may have been some shadow boxing. I don't really remember. But I remember I threw a punch. I think it was a left hook. I don't remember. Like I don't remember what I was doing. I think it was a left hook, and I felt a little bit of a pull, and it was a little. It was hurting for a little bit. So later that day, right, it was like the pain went down. So I was like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. The next day, it was still hurting a little bit. I was like, I'm just gonna keep training with it. So I kept training with it for the next like 3 4 days. And then on the fourth day, I remember I felt this massive pain in my back, like right here, so bad. Like whenever I moved, whenever I bent, it was so bad. Um, so yeah, I wasn't able to train for about maybe like a week, maybe 6 days. Yeah, 6 days to a week. I wasn't allowed to train. I recovered from it, and then after the week was over, once I started training again, like 3 4 days later, I think I hurt it again because the pain came back really really badly, and it just started hurting so bad. Um, and I took that made me have to take off for a little bit over a week. So today's actually gonna be my first day going back to training. I'm gonna be just doing some light lifting, get my body back into like my regular training routine. The bag work, the sprint, the hip work, and all that. Wrestling, all of those are gonna come back. But we're just gonna start off slow with some light weightlifting today. Um, but yeah, that was a very bad injury. I have recovered from it. I don't feel it no more, but I'm gonna still be taking it slow precaution. We don't want to keep getting injured. So yeah, we're good now. So yeah, that's the injury. The new training stuff that's happening is pretty big. There's a lot of new stuff that happened. So my dad actually is fighting on June 14th. He has a fight on June 14th, and I'm his training partner. So I'm helping him with a lot of stuff like cage work. We're doing some light sparring. We're doing mitt work. We're doing a bunch of wrestling drills. So that's also implementing to me training because we're going really hard. So I think that's also what damaged my back the second time was also we were doing a bunch of wall work and we were doing like live wall work. So he was trying to get out and I was trying to get him down and we were going really hard. So that may have also pulled my back for the second time. So yeah, but that's stuff over. So yeah, we're doing really hard drilling, really hard some like light sparring. So yeah, bunch of new training stuff, which is helping me out, obviously, because wall work is not something we do in regular wrestling practice. So when I'm doing it with my dad, it's definitely showing me, if I have someone against the cage, transitioning how to get them down, Khabib style, because he's like a master on the cage. So yeah, that's some of the new training stuff. And new plan. There's like a new plan that's happening. So so you guys know how I was planning to do a kickboxing fight. I don't think I'm gonna end up doing it because my dad told me that it kind of doesn't make sense because I'm training to do MMA and kickboxing isn't MMA because you have like bigger gloves on, like boxing gloves, and it doesn't make sense. And he says it doesn't really make sense to do that and not just it doesn't make sense because you move a lot faster with MMA gloves. They hurt a lot more. You can't really block with them like boxing gloves. So he said there's really no point of me doing a kickboxing fight. And yeah, I was gonna do it for experience, but like I said, I've sparred with my dad a bunch of times, and I'm still gonna continue sparring with him. That if I'm doing good against my dad, I would be able to easily beat a kid who's my size, my weight. Now I'm not gonna say easily like I'm being cocky. I'm just saying that I would be able to do that. So I'm having experience. I'm getting my experience, and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But the next step is honestly I might just have to wait till I'm 18 to have my first amateur MMA fight, which is honestly not that long. That's like a little bit over a year. It's like a year and like 34 months or something like that. So it's honestly not that long. I even have to wait for that. Think about where I was like a year and a half ago. I just have to wait for that. And I'm sure I'll do a couple sparring matches here with a couple MMA sparring matches for myself. Before I have my first fight, obviously with other people. So I'm not too worried about that. That's nothing really major. But this that was gonna be the goal for the summer, was to get a fight, but that's not gonna be happening anymore. So what I'm gonna be doing this summer is just doing a bunch of MMA training with my dad. Then when September starts, that's when wrestling preseason starts. So from September to March, I'm just gonna be wrestling. Like from September to October is gonna be preseason, and then from October all the way to March is season, like regular season. So I'm gonna be wrestling for about, what is that, like 6 months? 6 months straight of just wrestling. So that's gonna be a bunch of time to wrestle, because you guys know my goal for 2025 is just to get insane wrestling, and that's obviously gonna be able to, be the goal of what I'm gonna be doing. So it's just gonna be straight wrestling. And then after that, we'll see what's going to be the next plan. Honestly, I'll probably be a little bit over 17 by that time, so we'll see what the plans are for next spring. But first, we're going to get through, this summer, get through the season, and then we'll worry about that. But yeah, that's pretty much that. And yeah, that's pretty much all that's happened these past few weeks. I'm finally going to get back to training. It's going to take me about maybe like a week to get back into shape, with my conditioning and all that. But I don't think I lost that much. Like, I was just resting, and my body feels really good. Like, now that I've rested for a little bit over a week, or actually, I've rested for a good few days now, because, I mean, if we're counting before I got injured for the second time, I was only training for 3 days, and then that's when I got injured again. So before that, I also rested a bunch. So I've rested a lot these past, all of pretty much May. I've been resting and recovering from this injury. But today's finally the day I return to training. The normal routine is gonna start again. Videos are gonna start coming out more. The only reason I wasn't recording was because there was really nothing to record besides the road to becoming UFC champion. Like, I wanted to do, show footage of me training, maybe a Q&A while I'm lifting, but I wasn't able to do much of that because, I wasn't training. And honestly, there's only so many of these videos that I can make, because, I'm not getting updates changing every single day, you know what I mean? So, I have to make these videos after like 3 weeks. And then before, in the middle of that, I also post like videos of me training, or like the day in the life video, like videos like that I post in between these videos. But obviously I wasn't able to. But the next video is going to be, we'll see. I think it's going to be the next video of some training stuff that I'm going to help you guys out with, like, how to throw the jab, how to throw the cross, takedown and all that. Eventually we'll expand more, but that's my next video will probably be how to throw the jab for you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any new content, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Have a blessed day, everybody.